Good day, viewers. Welcome to yet another edition of Dee's Take. Dee has been talking about quite a lot of issues in the past. We've spoken about the domestic debt. We've spoken about the blueprint. We've spoken about the sovereign wealth fund. Today, I want to talk about tourism. Tourism, especially Gambian tourism, is a missed opportunity. And I think we're yet to understand the economics of tourism and what we can gain out of tourism, the inherent economic dividends Gambia can gain out of tourism. First, before we understand it, we need to understand our product. Our product is not the conventional product we've been selling, sand, sea, and sex. Sand, sea, and sex is what we've been selling to Western European winter birds for over 30 to 38 years. This has to change. I think Gambia as a package should be something that is all-encompassing, and the bread and butter of Gambian tourism is our culture. I mean, I model Gambia to a country like Jamaica, and I've seen what Jamaica has done with tourism. And what Jamaica has done with tourism, Gambia can equally do the same or even better. But we need to repackage, rebrand, refocus, and put tourism on the right track. I think Gambia as a country is beautiful. It's diverse, both in terms of biodiversity and cultural diversity. Now, what needs to happen? How can we harness all these beauties and put them together and create a product that the world will want to consume? Once we do this, I think our tourism culture will change. We have a country that is so endowed with beautiful beaches. We have a country that is so endowed with a meandering river, and we have all kinds of wildlife and birds along the riverbanks of the Gambia, all the way to its source in Koina, or past its source in Koina. So there is a lot we can do, but we first need to know what our product is, how to position this product in the world, then market the product. I think when Bertil Harding came to Gambia, like a lot of people said, he accidentally came to Gambia. But as much as he accidentally came into Gambia, he established a product, and that product is called Gambian Tourism. Product is not broken, it's not meant to be fixed. But Gambian tourism is broken and needs to be fixed. How can we fix Gambian tourism? First, I think we need to do away with the way our tourism product is packaged. We cannot have a tourist product that is solely and wholly reliant on tour operators to bring business to destination Gambia. I think that is a big, big concern, and I don't know why to date our government hasn't gotten up to address this issue. Tourism as a product, to me, needs to be something that's nationally driven and by indigenous Gambians. The way to market tourism is to bundle, package, brand Gambia and put it to the world so that people can consume it. But first, I think we need to do something that will open up Gambia, and is to have a flag carrier. I mean, all the countries that I've seen do well in tourism, example Jamaica, they have Air Jamaica. Air Jamaica connects the world to Jamaica, even though there are other private companies bringing in tourists with different airlines into Jamaica, but the Jamaica Tourist Board has taken it upon themselves to use Air Jamaica as a vehicle or as an aircraft that will ferry people into Jamaica, both in Kingston and in Montego Bay. Gambia can do the same, and the best way forward is to have a flag carrier. I mean, I think the missed opportunity here would have been Gambia Bird. When Gambia Bird came, it would have been a good opportunity for it to be a flag carrier. Right now, we're using the charters, the Gambia Experience, and many other, Neckerman, but we have a problem. These people are entrenching themselves in the economy, and the biggest problem we have today, a company like Gambia Experience have vertically integrated themselves into our tourism product. They are doing air travels. They are into tour operating on the ground tour operating. And now they've gotten into hotels. So basically they have vertically integrated their business, and in so doing, they are now giving leftovers to other hotels. This creates the problem because these hotels are not getting enough, and that's not going to help, number one. Number two, the quality of tourists coming to Gambia is so poor at the moment. We have backpackers coming here who are not spending money. And what the tour operators are offering these hotels is so insignificant to the point the hotels cannot do good refurbishment and also make sure that they have a quality product. See, Destination Gambia is a very cheap destination, and we're not attracting value-added tourists who can come, spend money, tourists who can come and do things in the country. But equally, we have a problem. The product proposition is not diverse. You just come to a hotel, sleep, go to the beach, find a young girl or a boy and have a good time. That's not what our value proposition should be. Gambia should sell its culture, our food, our music, our clothing, our cultures, our rituals. This is what we need to sell to the world. And we can't sell this to the world if we haven't done a good job packaging it. And also, the people managing tourism, I think, are not the right people managing tourism. I mean, no offense to anybody, but if you want to develop a product, you need to look for the experts in there. And these experts in there have requisite skills and experience that they have gathered over the years. I mean, you look at someone like Mr. Samba Bachfai, you look at someone like Mr. Abdullah Mbouch, you look at someone like Adi Saj. These people should be critical in the development of this sector. They should be critical in furtherance of Gambian tourism, and they are the doyens of this industry, and this industry need their advice on a day-to-day basis. And what better way to do that than put them in the boards and also allow them to help policymakers design policy. I mean, we have a lot of work to do. Tourism can be a very vital sector that will significantly add value to GDP, both in terms of employment and receipts. Today, the hotels we have, all of them are less than 70% occupied in terms of their beds. Why? Because our tourism is very seasonal. Seasonal tourism is not going to help Gambia. And in terms of product development, we need to deepen our product and change the value proposition of our product. We have been looking at one market and one market alone, and that's Western Europe, Scandinavia and Western Europe. They haven't done well because those markets are also opening up to other places like Morocco, like Greece, like Turkey. So Gambia is competing with newer markets and we're not getting much. And I always tell people the best example is to look at Cape Verde. Gambia started tourism in the 60s. Cape Verde started tourism in the 90s. Today, Gambia is yet to have 230,000 arrivals annually. Cape Verde is doing over 800 to 1 million arrivals a year. And also the value proposition of the Cape Verde product is way better than the Gambian product. The Gambian product is less than 300 pounds for a week. The Cape Verde product is going for over 750 to 800 pounds. What's the difference? Value proposition. What are they offering? Cape Verde doesn't have a beach, yes? They have islands, but it's all rocks. We have pristine beaches. We have beautiful beaches. We have the flora. We have the fauna. Beautiful, colorful birds. We have culture that we can sell. We have food that we can sell. We have music that we can sell. We have the river that we can sell, but we are not bundling and packaging this. And this needs to change. And this is the only way we can at least get the dividends out of tourism. So what needs to happen? I think government needs to revisit our tourism policy. Government needs to get out of the tour operator-driven tourism economy. We should not rely on tour operators because the loyalty of the tour operators is not to the Gambia, but to their revenues. Therefore, if Gambia happens to have a problem, they will just shift the people who bought packages from them to other destination, whether it's in Marrakesh or it's in Istanbul. So these tour operators don't love Gambia. They love what they get out of Gambia. So what's the way forward? I believe the way forward is to sit down as a nation, deal with the stakeholders, approach the hotel owners, the ground tour operators, and redo the package that we call Gambia Tourism. How are we going to do this? We need to inculcate our river in terms of having riverboat gambling. We need to do leisure trips, cruising on the river. We need to have nightlife along the river. We need to have excursions along the river. We need to deepen the Gambia tourism product. We need to have cultural tourism where people will come and visit Igbo Town, where people will come and visit Tallinding. You go to Jamaica, they take you into the ghettos of Kingston. It's a tourism package. People want to see how cultures are. People want to see how we live. So that's a package that we need to sell. But we can't sell it if we don't bundle it. So what we need is for government to really deal with the local stakeholders, the hotel owners, the people who have a vested interest in the tourism sector, the restaurateurs, and see how best we can repackage our tourist product. But our tourist product as is not going to change the lot of people who are involved and engaged in this sector. Another thing we need to do is to create linkages between agriculture and other services that should help tourism. You look at Gambia today. Why is it that I walk into Kairaba Hotel or a Senegambia hotel, I'm being served a bottle of Don Simon when I have mangoes abound in Gambia and we're not doing anything about it? I buy a plate of steak, I'm being served an Argentinian steak or a Brazilian steak when we have enough meat and of good quality in the Gambia. We need the real sector linkages between tourism and agriculture so that the economy will gain quite a lot by making money not only directly into tourism, but also the other sectors that are serving tourism. We can't be drinking the Don Simons. We have the baobabs, we have the mangoes, we have the tamarind. I mean, I think the time has come we do something with what we have. Gambia needs to repackage tourism, and we need to move away from these cheap backpackers that are coming here and paying 10, 15 pounds a night at a hotel. That's not what we need. Our hoteliers need to give a good service, and for them to give a good service, they need good quality. For them to give good quality, they need to invest in their infrastructure. The tourism infrastructure as is very dilapidated because the returns they're getting out of it is so insignificant. Convention tourism is one thing we're not looking at. Conferences, meetings, international conferences and meetings, we need to be holding them in and hosting them in the Gambia. Also, regional tourism. The Nigerian coming to Gambia for a weekend spends nothing less than $2,500 to $4,000. That's equivalent to over 45 British coming here for a whole week. So what are we doing to attract better tourists who will come to Gambia, spend in our economy rather than just come here for sun, sex, and sea? We need to change that. I mean, we're having older people coming here, which I don't have a problem. I'm not discriminating by age, but they're just here to just relax without spending money. And that's not going to spur growth in this economy. This economy needs buoyant and vibrant tourists with disposable income to spend monies into our economy and grow this country. This country now has a package to give, and that package is based on our culture, based on our scenery, and based on the natural resources that we have, i.e. our beaches, the river, and the interior of the country that has a lot to offer, plus some of our historic sites, the stone circles. We can do something about it. The slave house in Makati, we can do something about that, but we need to bundle and rebrand Gambia. Destination Gambia needs rebranding, and who better to do it than me and you, the Gambians? We don't need outsiders to fix our tourism problem. We need you, me, with the help of our government to really, really rebrand this country. This country needs rebranding, and without rebranding, the tourism product will not have value. So I'm urging the Minister of Tourism, I'm urging the Tourism Board to really, really look at a bottom-up approach whereby they go back to communities, deal with these communities, and promote a new brand Gambia, a new product Gambia that is community-oriented, bottom-up approach, and it empowers people. Another thing that tourism has done, I think the legislation is very restrictive, and tourism, the way it's been enforced in Gambia, is really driving away the indigenous from taking a big stake into tourism. You go to the beach. I'm hearing that beach demolitions have been happening. Look, people are not looking for brick and mortar in the beach. We need sustainable development with sustainable infrastructure in the beach. Let's have nice palm houses, run houses at the beach, better than just putting brick and mortar at the beach. Tourism is not what the GT board is trying to advocate. Allow these young people to really, really build nice, little, luscious locations along the beach that will serve a purpose, and that purpose is to give an alternative to a would-be tourist in the Gambia, rather than just putting up strong structures that's just going to give us trouble and problems. Let's allow our tourism sector to be participatory. You cannot have a youthful population who are unemployed. You have young people trying to thrive, go to the beach, be a juice maker, a pressing juices, or just trying to run a simple beach bar, and you want to just bamboozle them with paperwork. That's not what we need. We need a one-stop solution whereby these young kids who are trying on their own to be entrepreneurial, who are trying on their own to build a product, help them build a product rather than frustrate them bureaucratically with paperwork. I am urging the government of the Gambia to go back to these communities, do community projects. Ecotourism is what's going to take this country forward. Bird watching is big. River cruising should be big. River nightlife should be big. River gaming and gambling should be big, but it has to start somewhere. It has to start by the government of the Gambia realizing that peanuts is peanuts. Our tourism product as is today is junk, is crap, and it needs to be overhauled. And if it needs to be overhauled, we need to look into it. And once we look into it, we try and create a diversified product that is community-oriented and that has value to a would-be tourist. Then we can do something. But I, Mr. Njai, believe that the product we call Gambia Tourism today is nonsense. And you know what? We can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Sorry for my language. I try to be nice, but I'm very passionate about tourism and where tourism is going in the Gambia. I mean, we have more hotel beds than tourists that will fill it. So what we need is not hotel expansions whereby people building new hotels. We need to upgrade the existing tourism infrastructure. We need to add additional infrastructure around what's available to make sure that tourism and tourists that do come to Gambia have things to do rather than just lay down on the beach and go back to their hotel bed, go get some young girl or a young lady to have fun. That's not why we established tourism. We established tourism to sell Gambia, to brand Gambia, to position Gambia, and to exhibit our culture to the world. So therefore, let's put a halt to what's happening and change the dynamics of what we used to call Gambia Tourism and have a product that's responsive to the global needs of would-be tourists. What better way to bring African Americans, especially African American youths, particularly African American males, to Gambia in the summer months when our tourism is dead? I mean, you go to America in the summertime, that's when most of the killings happen in the ghettos and black neighborhoods. Why? Because the kids are out of school, nothing to do. Now big churches in America and big philanthropists like Sister Soldier, Puff Daddy, these people are spending money, sending these kids to Bahamas, sending these kids to Jamaica. Well, you know what? They're staying out of trouble when they go there. But if they come to Gambia, they learn about their heritage. They'll learn about their culture. They will get to know their history. So why can't we go out there and offer packages to these big churches like the AME Church? Say, look, bring us 4,000 kids. We will have summer camps for them for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We're doing two things. We're exposing them to where they came from. We're also making money, but equally, we're helping save those lives in the summer months, which are critical months in the US. So our product needs to be diversified. Our product needs repackaging, and we need to change the tourism brand, because our tourism brand as is relying on tour operators who really don't care too much. How can Gambia Experience own Novotel? How can Gambia Experience have a vested interest in local ground handling? And Gambia Experience, the same company, bringing in tourists, feeding themselves and not feeding the other hotels. We should not allow these people to vertically integrate their businesses, whereby the Gambia and Destination Gambia is at their mercy. The time has come, Gambia. The time has come, our government. The time has come, the GT board, for us to sit down, repackage what we own, and make the most out of it. We need to yield dividend out of our tourism product, and we can't do it if we continue business as usual. Let's put a halt. Let's close the pass. and create a product that's responsive to our needs, now or never. If we do this, we can go forward in the next millennium as a destination that may one day rival Montego Bay, that may rival Bali, that may rival Saint-Tropez. If not, we will be relegated to the doldrums of doom, and that's where we are today. So let's change that and make tourism a better product. This was Dee's take on the issue of tourism in the Gambia. Cheers.